everybody. So today I'm going to be showing you my eyeshadow palette collection. I have about 60 eyeshadow palettes, so this is going to be a long video. Grab a snack. These are the types of videos I like to watch before, to help me fall asleep. I find it very relaxing. So I hope you enjoy this video. I'm going to try to make this the best quality I can. This is the second time filming it, but if you're not already, I would love for you to like and subscribe because I'm going to be eventually going through all my categories, do an updated version on everything. So I'm going to start with Too Faced. This is the Totally Cute. It's one of the old, 9-pan tins, and this is the one you could put your stickers on. I bought it at like a discount store. I believe it was $15, and you just have the cute fun shades, the pink, the green, the deeper purple, and that more bluish teal shade, and some couple warm neutrals. This is the Too Faced Boudoir Eyes. This is discontinued. All these little pan palettes are discontinued now, but this is more cool. You have the gray. It's supposed to be more like sexy and soft. I think it's really pretty. It's really cute. I like having these in my collection. And I also like when I see these videos and I see older palettes, discontinued items. It's kind of cool. But this is the Too Faced Razzle Dazzle. This is part of the Tutti Frutti collection. And this is just like a berry toned eyeshadow palette. And the shimmers are pretty unique. I feel like they're super shiny. They're almost moussey. And it has this really nice berry scent. As soon as I open it, I could smell it. I don't know. I'm a sucker for scented eyeshadow palettes. This was a holiday collection. I have way more makeup at home, which is totally true. This is supposed to be like a little makeup bag, I guess. And it came with 3 little eyeshadow palettes. We have the Natural Beauty, which is more the, the brown neutrals with the bronzer. Super Fun Night, which is supposed to be more like a New Year's eyeshadow palette, which is the highlighter and the cooler neutrals like the taupes and a soft pink. And I Believe in Pink, which obviously is a pink palette with the bright pink blush. Right here we have the Pretty Rich. This one looks like a jewelry box, super cute. And just like a neutral with your pops of some colors. It's so pretty though, like the silver, this light silver blue. I think it's a gorgeous palette, honestly. When this palette released, Too Faced gotten some heat for posting that picture of the cake and said rich lives matter, which was very offensive. And around this time this palette released, I think that was kind of started the downslide of Too Faced brand. Okay, we have the Chocolate Gold, which was pretty popular actually. People really enjoyed the formula. The shimmers and the metallic shades are really great and foiled. It's really a nice palette. I would say it's more of a neutral lover palette who likes that fun pop of color. We have the Peanut Butter and Jelly palette, which was so popular. I believe I got this on sale. I can't remember how much I spent on it, but I know it was on sale. I know this is super popular. It's just like a warm neutral with a pop of purple. But this shade Peanut Butter, everyone loved Peanut Butter. I just remember hearing all the gurus talking about the shade Peanut Butter and how much they loved that shade. This is the Too Faced I Want Candy collection with the collab with Candy Johnson. It's super cute because it looks like a chocolate tin. And then you have the eyeshadows, which is pretty neutral, honestly. But they're really pretty. I love this little area right here. the raspberry cocoa shade. That's like has to be my favorite eyeshadow tone. It's really cute. It has a sweet scent like candy. This was a limited edition eyeshadow palette. Here we have one of the chocolate bar palettes. This is the Too Faced Semi-Sweet Chocolate Bar. And this is the one with the peanut butter shade that made it so popular. And this one had the pop of blue. These palettes now aren't as pigmented as what we're used to nowadays, but at the time, these were so popular and everyone loved these. This was a part of the Too Faced holiday collection. I believe it was Christmas 2017. And this came with like an agenda book. The best year ever. And the quality of these eyeshadow palettes, these eyeshadow shades are definitely not as good as Too Faced's original, you know, their classic formula. But it was a cute collection. I do love these shades, but definitely not as good. This is another palette from the Tutti Frutti collection, the pineapple one. And it's just definitely neutral. This shade is kind of cool, this greenish brown shade. And the shimmer is pretty amazing. It's like that, kind of like a Super Shock formula. And it has that sweet scent too. I don't know, I like these little Too Faced palettes. Then we have the Cat Eyes. This is an oldie. Just like a soft purple and deeper shades, kind of cool. I guess they marketed these 3 shades as you could do it wet or dry. Honestly, you could do any shadows wet or dry, but I don't know, it's cute. I definitely love the packaging. It's like the old Too Faced products. This one is the Natural Eyes. The packaging's pretty dirty. They did recently update this formula and packaging. This one is an older product which is discontinued, but like the shade Push Up and Silk Teddy, they're so gorgeous. It really is. It's more of a cooler neutral, honestly. And then we have the Too Faced Natural Matte, which they also updated this one as well. Look how cute the packaging is with the lace and everything. And then it's just like an all matte, definitely more cooler, I would say. I don't really use this as much, but I need to use it more. Definitely, I mean, it is an older palette, but I haven't noticed anything going bad with it, so I'm going to keep it around until I notice something funky. Natural Love palette. I remember this was released for springtime, and I have to say almost every single influencer was talking about this and made me feel like I needed to have it. This was more of an expensive palette, but it's so cute, like the details, honestly. And it's just a basic neutral palette, but just the way everyone was talking about it, I just needed to have it. And it's just a soft, perfect for spring neutral palette. This is the Too Faced Palm Springs Dreams. I got this in a BoxyCharm because Too Faced, I don't feel like they've been doing as well. It looks very similar to the Pretty Rich palette, honestly. But I don't know, it's cute. I didn't notice any like special scent with this one like Too Faced normally does. They should have put like coconut or something. I don't know. Okay, here we have the Just Peachy Mattes, which was super popular when this came out as well. And it's just an all matte palette, very warm. You have your peachy tones, your more red cranberries, coral. It smells amazing. This is definitely a hyped up popular palette at the time. This was the sister palette to the Just Peachy Mattes, the White Peach. This one wasn't as popular. People weren't as crazy about this palette because there's a lot of like very light tone, and there wasn't very much variation to make a complete look. But it is, I don't know, I still like it. I still like keeping it around. I think it's pretty. This palette is the Chocolate Bonbon. This one has a special place in my heart because, you know, this is my very first high-end eyeshadow palette. And it's just so cute with the hearts. It's more of a cooler neutral with the pops of pink. You know, I like how these shades are bigger, Satin Sheets, and I can't read it, Divinity. It really is a cute palette. I mean, the pigmentation isn't as strong as what we see in palettes today, but at the time, that's, I mean, definitely wasn't as pigmented. Now everyone wants like instant payoff. This is, you have to build it up more. Here we have the Too Faced Sweet Peach, which was super popular. I believe I got this at the second release. I remember the first release, it was supposed to be limited edition, and people went nuts for this palette. Like, waited outside of stores overnight. Like, this was insane. Everyone loved it. And honestly, it's just a warm tone neutral with some pops of, like, coral. You don't really have a ton of peach, but everyone loved the shade Puree and Summer Yum. Every YouTuber was talking about those. Honestly, I love Luscious. It's such a pretty shimmer shade. Last palette for Too Faced is the Peanut Butter and Honey. I guess they were trying to play up on the popularity of the Peanut Butter and Jelly palette, but this one just didn't do as well. I actually found this at Nordstrom Rack, or my friend Sarah did. I believe it was around $14. I don't know, it's cute, but it just didn't do as well. I want to say this is probably the last of Too Faced's 9-pan tins that they did. We're going to go in some Wet n Wild. This is the Rosé in the Air. This is like more of their newer style eyeshadow palettes. This is supposed to be a dupe for the Modern Renaissance. Obviously not as good as Formula, but nevertheless, it's a decent palette for the price. This one I got for Halloween. I was a lion. It's the Coffin Break. It was limited edition. I thought this actually kind of reminded me of the Urban Decay Honey palette. I thought it was very similar. Obviously not an exact dupe, but I liked it. I enjoyed it. This is the Too Faced Au Naturel. It's Bare Necessities. Just like a neutral palette. I would say more cool because you got the silver and these browns are lean more cool. And then a lot of shimmer shades. But I remember liking this palette a lot when I got it. These two are oldies. When I first started getting into YouTube, everyone was talking about these two, the Comfort Zone and the Petal Pusher. They're all shimmer palettes, both of them. And I know Wet n Wild updated these versions, but these were classics. Everyone talked about them, especially this shade right here. Doesn't even have a shade name, but it's such a cool color. And you know how many brands have copied this, even high-end brands, and created this shade? I have a couple palettes from Pur. I received both of these in a BoxyCharm. This is the BoxyCharm and Pur collab. And this one actually doesn't have a great formula. Like, it looks pretty, but it didn't work that well. And I couldn't really create a complete look. All these shades look so similar to each other. This shade came broken. I kind of mushed it in. I don't know. Wasn't a huge fan of this palette. This, on the other hand, the Pur Festival, this came out in a BoxyCharm around Coachella time. And I just thought this was so pretty. It's obviously, I'm a neutral lover, but I liked how it had the glitters and the two fun pops of pink and purple. I thought it was really pretty for the summertime, honestly. I'm going to do some ColourPop, which is, I have quite a bit of ColourPop. I love ColourPop. I love how affordable they are, and the quality is really good. This is the Butter Me Up, and it's part of their like butterfly collection. So you have those pressed glitters, which some people don't like. I don't know, I don't mind them. I know they're not considered eye safe, and you can get chunks in your eye. It could irritate or cut your eye. So they do have, you know, something on their palettes that states it's not eye safe, so they don't get in trouble. But I like the color story. I like the browns, and then the mix with purples, and the silver I think really complements the purples. I think it's a cool palette. This is the Lilac You A Lot, one of the monochromatic palettes ColourPop did. Oh my gosh. I love this palette. I think it's so pretty. I think the quality is so good. It's so easy to use. Every time I use it, I get such a beautiful look. Honest to gosh, I really, really like this palette. Okay, here we have is the Sweet Talk palette. This was released around springtime, and I love this palette too. It's just so nice. It's perfect for spring, fall even. It's so cool. I like, you know what I liked about this palette so much is they had a Super Shock in here. And I believe this is the first palette ColourPop put a Super Shock formula in, and honestly it's still doing fine. I know a lot of people are worried about it drying up because it wasn't sealed, but I don't know if they did something different to this formula that they put in the eyeshadow palettes, but it's still fine. I just love it. Look how pretty this palette is. Okay, we have the Gimme Butterflies. This is also a very pretty pink palette. Like that shade Winged. It's such a pretty pink shade, shimmer shade. And you have those glitters. I don't know, I like it. The shade Labyrinth, that cooler brown. It's so pretty. Going Coconuts. Everyone went coconuts over this palette. Honestly, I don't know. I did too. You get quite a bit of fallout. I just used this palette yesterday. The shimmer shades are gorgeous. It's not too cool. It's not too warm. It's just a basic neutral palette, but man, everyone on YouTube loved this palette, and people are still talking about it. It really is just an everyday nice eyeshadow palette. Okay, here we have the Main Squeeze, which was released around summertime. This is the red palette. Honestly, I'm not a huge fan of this one. I don't use this that much. These red shades don't look really great on my skin tone. I'm more cool with pink undertone, so it doesn't look great on me, but I can appreciate how gorgeous these colors are. We have the Honey palette. This was another ColourPop summer release everyone was talking about. I did get this for Christmas, so I haven't used it a ton, but I feel like in the summertime I'm going to be using this a ton. Here we have the Smoke Show palette. I believe ColourPop actually changed the name of this palette. I don't even know what the new name is, but it's such a classic silver, cooler gray, black palette. Perfect for New Year's. I think it's such a sexy, you can make such a sexy glam look with this palette. I think it's really cool, and I really like it. I have the Dream Street, the Kathleen Lights and ColourPop collab. Just a basic neutral with some pops of teal. I do like this palette though. I know this is a very popular ColourPop release. And here we have the Zodiac, which is another collab with Kathleen Lights. They do a lot of collabs with Kathleen. And this is more fun. It definitely still has your neutrals, but it has fun pops of color. I really like the Sagittarius shade, that purple. I think it's really pretty. Aquarius is a cool shade. Pisces. It's just a fun palette, and I used to be the girl that was so into, you know, reading your horoscope and asking you what your sign was, and I would tell you who you're compatible with. That was me in high school. So I really like this palette. Another Kathleen Lights collab is So Jaded. This is the first like large palette from ColourPop. It's supposed to be like, you know, gemstones and stuff. And it's more like an earthy tone. You know, you got the jewel tones. It is a pretty palette. And this palette also has a Super Shock Shadow diamond, which I enjoy that. I don't know, it's a pretty palette. And this is a ColourPop Build Your Own palette. This is actually my daughter's. Like, if you guys are ever interested in building your own palette, ColourPop is actually pretty reasonable. Like, this is the larger palette, and I believe she paid $45 for it, which seems very expensive, but when you go into, like, building your own palette on websites, they get pretty pricey because they charge per shadow. It's like, I don't know. I just feel like ColourPop has the best price, and the quality is really good, and the packaging is really cute, too. And my daughter picked out an all glitter shimmery eyeshadow palette. She didn't want any mattes, but they are really pretty. Okay, so here's my Urban Decay Naked Cherry. I only own one eyeshadow palette from Urban Decay. And it's just a pretty berry, pinky tone. Kind of like a monochromatic eyeshadow palette. I really like it. This is my Pretty Vulgar Nightingale. And it's just a cooler silver tone eyeshadow palette. I got this in a BoxyCharm. Do you remember when Pretty Vulgar was talked about all the time? Like when it first released and then it like dropped off the face of the earth. I'm pretty sure, I don't even know if this brand's still available in Sephora. And here we have the Pur Cosmetics. This is the brand by Gabby. She works for BoxyCharm, or with BoxyCharm, and she's also Kathleen Lights' friend. And she made her own brand, and she launched her first palette in BoxyCharm. And it's really actually a nice palette. I remember everyone was crazy about the formula. The shimmer shades are so intense and metallic and foiled, gorgeous. Here I have the Laura Lee Party Animal palette. This was in a BoxyCharm, and when this was put in a BoxyCharm, that was around the time with the Laura Lee drama, and I know this palette was kind of controversial because of that, but honestly it's just like a mini palette with bright pops of color. It's definitely not a standalone palette, but it's nice to add it in if you need like a pop of color to your lower lash line or something. But yeah. Here we have Sleek. I bought this at Ulta. I remember hearing a lot about Sleek makeup and I wanted to try their eyeshadow. It's a rather small palette, but it's just like kind of like jewel tone shades, the purples, pink, blue, gold. It's a cute little palette, and I haven't used it that much, but it's decent. I just recently received this in a BoxyCharm, the Picante by Carity. I've heard about Carity. They like advertise on Facebook a lot for being an affordable brand for beauty lovers. And in the comments on Facebook, everyone's talking about how great they love their eyeshadows. Like, they're so good. But honestly, I didn't find them that great. I found them decent quality, but like my ColourPop is definitely way better. And I would say that this brand is a little more expensive than ColourPop. I guess they're like trying to compete with the higher end cost, but the brand is very it reminds me kind of Morphe. Here I have this one from Ulta Beauty. It's discontinued. I feel like I bought this on sale, like discounted, I don't know, less than $5. It's just a jewel toned eyeshadow palette called Metals. And it's all shimmer shades, soft shimmer. Nothing's too intense. They're pretty soft. Honestly, to be called like a jewel toned, or, you know, metals. They're definitely not like metallic. They're just like soft shimmer shades. This is from Crown. You know, I guess Morphe used to be private labeled by Crown. Crown used to be Morphe. But I believe Morphe makes their own eyeshadow palettes now. But yeah, this is just a warm, neutral eyeshadow palette. And I received this in a BoxyCharm. And here we have Ace Beauty, the Grandos palette, which is in a BoxyCharm. And it's just your basic warm palette, but you have the peach and like the bright pink and the cranberry shade. It's really pretty, actually. The quality is actually really good. I got this in a BoxyCharm, the Celestial Thunder Dominique Cosmetic, which I thought was really cool that we got to try Dominique Cosmetic in our BoxyCharm. It's a very, I really love the colors in here, but I find it hard to create a look using this palette with the different colors, like the cool and warm combined. I'm just not that creative. I guess I would have to play around with this palette some more. I have a couple of Dosa Color eyeshadow palettes that I received in a BoxyCharm. This is the Hidden Treasure palette. And I remember when this palette first was released, everyone was criticizing it because of the design and how scattered the eyeshadows were. Like, it just didn't do well, so they put it in a BoxyCharm. But the quality is good, and I like the neutrals. And then we have the Sassy Siennas, which I think these palettes really did well. But, I don't know, maybe they had a bit extra stock. I got this in a boxy as well, and it's just all matte, very monochromatic, you know, warm little eyeshadows. Okay, and then we have the Butter London, which I also got in a BoxyCharm. It's really cute packaging, and it's just like a soft, neutral palette. You have the 4 shimmers and the 2 mattes. I don't know, I don't really use this that much, but I think it's pretty to look at, and the packaging is really cute. I have a couple of Tarte palettes. Here's the Tarte Pro, the Tarteist. This, I remember, was super popular. This is like so expensive. But I really enjoyed this palette. I like the colors. I thought it was really pretty. And they had kind of had it separated, so you could do a look on this row or look with this row. I don't know. I liked it. It was crazy. I don't use it as much anymore. And I don't even know if they still sell this palette, honestly. And this is another Tarte palette I got in a BoxyCharm. This is like one of their Rainforest of the Sea palettes. And it's pretty much an all shimmer palette except for this shade right here, Tiki. I mean, the shimmers are really beautiful, but it's more like a simple, natural eyeshadow palette. Here are a couple of my Violet Voss, which I got both of them in a BoxyCharm. Here's Essentials, which is just, I really like how they have the basic names like Dusty Rose, Pink, Plumberry. They're just straight to the point, and I do like the quality of Violet Voss, even though, you know, I don't think Violet Voss is that popular anymore. And here's the Holy Grail, and you know, this palette actually reminds me of the new Tati palette. I mean, I'm sure, you know, Tati palette has different like formulas in it, but the tones to me are very similar, like the color story, in just my opinion. Here's another one that I got in a BoxyCharm from Storybook Cosmetics. This is the Little Briar Rose, and I just love the colors in here. I think the quality is really good. There's a lot of controversy that this palette was made in China, but a lot of makeup is made in China. It doesn't mean that it's fake makeup, but I just think it's pretty. I like the colors. Here is my Anastasia eyeshadow palettes. Here's the Sultry. Look how pretty and glittery this is. Packaging is just gorgeous. This wasn't a holiday release that they did, and it was supposed to be limited edition, but I believe they have it on sale on their website. And it is just a cooler tone palette with like the gray, but the shimmer shades are gorgeous. This is really pretty. I think it's a really pretty winter palette. Now this one's newer to me. It's the Carly Bible Anastasia palette collab they did. And I just love Carly Bible. Honestly, she's gorgeous. I love her makeup looks. I love watching her vlogs. And I think these shadows are really pretty. I know people gave it a lot of criticism. I think it was because Anastasia was just releasing too many palettes. They had like 3 collabs back to back. They were just pumping out palettes like crazy. So I think this didn't give as much love as it would, it deserved. And here we have the Soft Glam, which I honestly think this like made neutrals popular again. It's such a pretty palette. I'm pretty sure they made this for bridal looks, which I think it would be perfect for bridal looks. The Dusty Rose. I don't know. I just think this is such a pretty neutral palette. And you could really make this, take this from day to night. And then here we have the ABH Norvina Collection Pro Pigment Volume 1, I believe. I won this in a giveaway from DD Decor Beauty. And this palette is just incredible. Look at how cool this is. Like, the shades are amazing. Like the purples, the pinks, the orange, the blue. I think it's gorgeous. Now we're going to do some of my Makeup Revolution palettes. I thought I had a lot more Makeup Revolution, but I guess I didn't. So this is the Death by Chocolate. Definitely like trying to copy Too Faced chocolate bar. And this one is more cooler, but it's really pretty. I like using this once in a while. I mean, the quality isn't incredible, but it's a decent palette for the price. And this one is the Reloaded Ionic Division. And this one is a dupe for the Subculture. And I believe this palette was around $7. So I know when Subculture released, everyone loved the color story, but the formula got a lot of criticism. So I wanted the color story, but I didn't want to pay the price. So I have the colors, it's just a different formula, but I like it. I like this palette for the fall. Okay, I have the Makeup Revolution. The R disappeared. The Emily Edit The Wants palette. I love Emily Noel. I watch almost every single one of her videos. I love her vlogs. I just love her. And she did a collab with Makeup Revolution. And I just think this palette is so like personal to her. It has her children's names in it. Like she's from the Midwest. She films her, she does her YouTube videos dark and early. It's just, I don't know. I really like this. It's not like the best quality in the world, but I just love it because I love Emily Noel. This one was like a free perk from Ulta if you purchase a certain amount of Makeup Revolution items, the Love Revolution. The middle is like a highlighter. I don't know, it's just a basic little palette, but it was free. I like getting free. I'm not sure if Makeup Revolution sold this on their website or not, but yeah. And this is the new neutrals, first neutrals. I can't remember who they were trying to dupe with this palette, but you definitely have like the peachy shades like the Too Faced palette, but then you have a cranberry and a lot of neutrals. I remember I really liked this palette when I first got it. Okay, I have a couple palettes from Jeffree Star. This is a Conspiracy Shane Dawson. This is actually my daughter's. My friend Sarah bought it for my daughter for her birthday because Sarah accidentally ordered 2 when the whole craziness was happening with ordering. But yeah, my daughter, she likes to play around with makeup. Like she likes to make like art on her face. She did clouds and different things. So yeah, she definitely used quite a bit of those shades. I mean, Sarah's probably like, oh my God. But at least, she's getting use out of it. There definitely are a lot of cool shades like Diet Cola and Sleep Paralysis are really cool shades. She definitely got a lot of use out of Ranch Even Diet Root Beer and Tanacon. And then I have the Blue Blood, which I got in the last Black Friday mystery box. And I think it's a cool palette. Like, I'm not a huge fan of blues, like on a day-to-day basis, but there's definitely a lot of neutrals in here to tone down a look. And the formula is so good. Oh my gosh, little one, no. The formula is so good. I heard that Jeffree Star might be coming out with a neutral palette this year. I can't wait to see what he comes up with because his formula is honestly so good. Okay, so here are a few of my Morphe palettes. This one I got in a BoxyCharm. It is Brunch Babe. And it's just like a neutral palette with some pops of like corally pink. I actually like Morphe's formula. I never had an issue with their formula. And then we have the Jaclyn Hill palette. This is the original. I believe I got this, not when it very first released, but the second round of it. But this is before they changed the packaging to that shiny material so it didn't get dirty. And here, I'm sure a lot of people have seen this palette, but I honestly really like it. And I love these chocolatey brown colors. Every time I use this palette, I like reach towards those colors. I have this little Morphe palette. It is Bronze Babe. My friend Kathleen actually bought this for me. And it's pretty much a bronzed brown eyeshadow palette. It's cute. I like it. And this is my daughter's James Charles palette. She really wanted this palette. And this is definitely like the ultimate rainbow palette. She, like I said, she likes to play around and do a lot of artistic stuff. So she just had a lot of fun with it. I have a couple palettes from The Balm that I got at, I believe, Nordstrom Rack for discounted. Like, these palettes originally retail for around $40, and I got it for $11.85. And this one, let's see. Oh my gosh, did I pay full price for this one? I think I did. That's crazy. I can't believe I paid full price for this. But here is the Balm Jovi. It's just, you got your eyeshadows up here, the highlight and blush, and down here is supposed to be like, you could either use them for lips or cheek, and these have definitely gone bad. But I just think the names are cute. Alice Cooper, you got Third Eye Blinded, Blink 1982. I don't know, it's just, it's a cute palette. And then here's the Balm Voyage. This is supposed to be meant to be a travel palette. I still can't believe I paid full price for this. And you have, you know, your bronzer, blush, highlight, eyeshadows, and then they did the same thing with the cream lip and cheek products down below. Almost done. So we have a couple from Huda Beauty. These are both from my friend Sarah. These must be released around my birthday. Here's the Desert Dusk. It's so pretty. I really do like Huda Beauty's eyeshadows, especially your shimmers. They're so gorgeous. They are expensive eyeshadow palettes though. Then we have the new Nude, which I absolutely love this palette. Shimmers are gorgeous. I love the tones. I love this palette. I think I mentioned this palette. If I could only keep 10 eyeshadow palettes, this is one of them that I was going to keep. Okay, we're almost done here. This is from BH Cosmetics. It's the Pride and Prejudice Zombie Collection. I honestly just bought this because of the packaging. I never even seen this movie. But the quality of the product isn't really that good. But I don't know. This is around the time I was watching Walking Dead a lot. So, I don't know. I thought it was cool. Okay, here is my Carly Bible palette, the deluxe edition. This was a limited edition item, which is no longer available. But I absolutely love this palette. I think it's so pretty. Carly is the one who introduced me to the pretty purpley mauve tones. We have the Take Me to Brazil. This is an older palette. I know they updated this palette, but I bought it because I wanted a rainbow palette. The quality isn't the greatest, but I like using it for... But yeah, I just like this palette for the colorful shadows. Okay, here is Illuminate by Ashley Tisdale. This was a BH Cosmetic collab. Ashley Tisdale actually bought the rights for this to create her own brand, but I don't know if she's actually doing anything with the brand right now, or it wasn't successful. I'm not sure. But this is like the Beach Goddess one, and ever since I got it, it has these weird like chunky things in it. And I know this product is older, but that is not the greatest quality, but I keep it around. And this is the Shannon XO, the remix. And what I really actually enjoyed this palette. I love these colors, like the purple, the pink. I just love these. And then I loved how you could flip it and get them. Yeah. So this is my eyeshadow palette collection. I would love for you guys to like and subscribe because I'm going to be doing more collection videos soon. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.